Mm-mm. Mhm. What's good, B1 family? We are live in the place to be. So I can get a little something better out this camera. Yeah. Get something better out the camera. Yeah. Of course, we're getting this refreshed. Shout out to brother Poncho Stevens. He's doing his thing with that. I think everything else is as good as it's gonna get until I get like a little light back there. B1 family, the place to be. What's happening with you? So we are waiting on our dear sister BX to hop in, accept the invite, and then we're gonna bring her up to the stage. And we're gonna talk about where are the FBAs in New York, because yeah, I think there's a lot of misinformation going on with that. And let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me. On show comments on stage. It won't let me show. Okay, hold on. Oh, we gotta do something quick. You know, there you go. Make sure I can't see. Hold on. Let me make sure y'all can't see this. I'm taking myself off stage real quick. All right, so we're back. We back. And our sister, our B1 sister, is here. And we're gonna start getting into it and make it do what it do. Welcome to the stage. Our wonderful sister out of New York, FBA sister, hardcore rider for FBA and everything that we need. It's our beautiful sister BX in the building. Show us some love in the chat. Put us some 100s in the chat for our lovely sister. BX, how you doing, sweetheart?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm in the place to be. It's worked out because I'm off work. I was on at work for Good Friday. And now we are off. You know, boss hooked me up. So I'm off today. And yeah, we finna get into it. We're gonna start with this comment. Let me see, make sure I can show the family what I got going on. I know there's a way to do it. Because there was a comment that somebody left on one of my videos where he was talking about you can't talk about Mr. Charles Barron because hold on, let me share my screen. That's what I want to do. Because he's done so much for his constituents in the last 30 years. I was like, oh. I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, I know somebody who's been in New York all her life. All her life she had to fight. And that is you yourself. So we're gonna go to this comment right here, B1 family. It's ill 110. You have no right to disrespect Charles Barron. He single-handedly fought for his constituents for years. He stopped gentrification in Brownsville and East New York. I'm with you, brother, but we need to set up a private meeting with Brother Barron and discuss your grievances in private. Brother making the video, research Charles Barron. He's done more for Black people since Adam Clayton Powell. Okay, said a lot right there. Now, sister, hold on, I took you off stage real quick. Let's bring you front and center. Now, what do you think? You've been in New York all your life. What do you think Charles Barron has done for the community? What have you seen from the Barron family? Because his wife, she's also been an assembly person.
Right. So in New York, so when you mention Brooklyn, Brooklyn has have their own representatives. What it sounds like to me is that Mr. Barron is over a district in Brooklyn, but I haven't heard of his name until recently, and I believe is that the man that Melrose Radio was talking to on camera saying you've been in this community for 30 years, but you still haven't done anything. Is
That
that
is
who we're
correct.
talking?
That
Okay.
is correct.
So here's the issue. So Brooklyn is very much gentrified. Certain parts like Canarsie, Flatbush, stuff like that. But we still have East New York, Crown Heights. They're primarily the Caribbean will outnumber foundational Black Americans there, but we still have East New York, Brownsville, and there's telling me Bedford Stuyvesant and Weeksville, right? So yeah. So he has to do for his district, but he's not making no noise. I ain't hear of him in the Bronx, but guess who I've heard of? Who's also over a district in Brooklyn? Yvette Clarke. So Yvette Clarke is of Jamaican descent and on the New York caucus, the Caribbean caucus, the Haitian caucus, the Congressional Black caucus, and she's making noise to the point where I can hear about her. But I'm not really hearing about Mr. Barron until recently. So I don't know how much work he's doing. And if Melrose Radio says you still haven't done anything, I'm a roll with Melrose.
Well, so I'm glad you said that because when you pull up his name right here, you can see it on your
Mhm.
screen, family. Councilmember Charles Barron challenges unequal distribution of shelters as the city looks to East New York to house asylum seekers. And then you have this article, Charles Barron is back, his unique rise to power. East New York's forgotten socialist dynasty and the never-ending narrative wars. Now, my question is, I wonder if they're just attaching him to East New York because that's where FBA still are. That's where the powerhouse that gets the Democrats actually into office is, and they're just hoping no one ever puts the dots together to see that, hey, buddy, you ain't done no work over there.
Yeah. So right now we are looking for our FBA representatives. We want to know where they at, what are their policies, so that we can either support them or get somebody fresh in those seats. Right.
Mm.
And so what it sounds like to me, yeah, because it is midterm election, and I know that we have been pushing vote the couch, but for the midterms, we just can't do that, especially if you're in a place like New York. I'm going to say Florida, Chicago as well, because the Democrats are really running amok. Oh, look, we can't forget about Cali. So if we are in these very diverse places where the immigrants are siphoning all the resources with the help of our representatives, then we have to get the ones who's in there out. And it sounds like Mr. Barron isn't really doing what he needs to do for the foundational Black American community. And they could very well just be latching him on because he's foundational Black American, and that's primarily where we are. Why is Yvette Clarke outshining him, which to the point where everybody knows her name, but we don't know his as her opponent?
Okay, well, let me do some. I thought I had put the clip up here, or at least the article up here. Let's go back to the internet. Charles Barron, because someone made me say, let me just see if these two are connected at all. And we know this is your nemesis.
You know,
Charles Barron and Yvette Clarke are prominent district. That's not one I wanted. So they've known each other. They've They were working together. He's actually backed her when she was making her run. I asked it wrong. You got to ask it right. Nowadays, you can't just ask. You got to ask Charles Barron on Yvette Clarke. Yvette Clarke. And I thought I had it pulled up
It's okay.
because
Take your time.
he has championed her when she's running.
See, that ain't so. He have a Pan African viewpoint when it comes to things like reparations? Um,
Mm-hmm.
because that Yvette Clarke, I guess I'll let you lead the discussion, but this is what I wonder when I see Yvette Clarke monopolizing all these various caucuses. Where are people? Why don't they realize the harm in it all? And so for him to champion her, he's operating off of flat blackness. Has to be. Because there's no way that Yvette Clarke should hear 76% of Black Americans are for the SAVE Act. And meanwhile, she's saying we don't, and they're racist to us. And she's not impacted by that, but Black Americans are. And if she's to represent us, why isn't she listening to us? Why isn't he contesting her? Nobody's contesting her narrative that we're against it. All these Democrats seem to be um, allowing her to say these things or agreeing with her, right? But they're out of touch with grassroots. So they have to start listening to us. And they're not doing that as long as Yvette Clarke is speaking for us and they're not saying anything. Yeah, he's
Also,
probably operating off of flat blackness, and that's why he's championing her.
yeah, with the video with our brother Melrose, that was him and his wife that was standing up there. The little short lady, Miss Inez Barron, who is 4 years older than he is. I don't know when they met because her maiden name is Smith. But yeah, and what's weird to me, or at least what's striking to me, is that all this so-called work he's done, there's been times he preceded her, and then he was her successor, and vice versa. They both had a real good run sitting in those seats as assemblywoman, assemblyman, and just going hard. I was like, okay, well, if y'all or husband and wife, and you're for the Black community, like you say, and you've proceeded and succeeded one another, how come we got our brother Melrose calling you out and saying, hey man, y'all ain't did nothing. Y'all ain't did nothing. So let's go to, if you go here, I know we don't really care for Wikipedia, but it does have some good information sometimes. New York Assembly District 40. She's been winning, and then the time she didn't win, it was right here. See, I'm not lying to you guys. She was preceded by her husband. Then she got in. Then she was succeeded by her husband. And if you go to his, same thing. And they had a good run until they just kind of, I guess they got ousted, or they felt like they were a little too old. But you can't have that much succession and not have no one to, yeah, you can see before this last run, January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2023, his wife preceded him, and now it's a Chris Banks. And then, yeah, Chris Banks came in. Well, he's currently in office now, but he was preceded by his wife, then succeeded by Chris Banks, then Priscilla Wooten, and then the wife back. Look, you can't have that many times in an office and have nothing to show for it, nothing significant to show for it, other than attaching your name to districts that evidently you're not over.
So it sounds like some of those seats are uncontested, right? And so one or the other is running for the seat. Like they're
Possibly.
doing something funny, something. Yeah. So because we're saying that we need to get in those seats. We need to pay attention to politics. We trusted people who are melanated like us to have the good of all melanated, us melanated people, including foundational Black Americans, at the forefront, and they've been dropping the ball. So a lot of us have been in the game and calling awareness to it. I'm just basically um, joining the people who have already been in the fight. But I learned quickly, right? And one thing I
Yes.
know how to do is pick a side, and the side is going to be my people, meaning foundational Black Americans. So I'm really horrified and wondering how did New York get so bad that where's our representation? And they're all operating off of flat blackness. And it's really horrible because they act like we don't deserve set of sides that our ancestors really fought for. A lot of things are going to the melanated immigrants, right? Who conveniently could identify as their lineage. So they get things off of their lineage, their immigration status, and they also get to fly under the banner of Black. So they got three ways here that they could go set asides and stuff. And we are the Black community. But when we say Black community, we don't mean the Jamaican immigrants, Haitian immigrants, the Nigerian immigrants. We don't even mean the Afro Latinos who now all of a sudden want to claim they're Black, right? So we're not, we're being outmaneuvered and undermined. But we operate from a good moral compass and we want to see everybody do well in life, but because everybody deserves an opportunity. But now we are cleaning up our yards. And shout out to Brother Melrose because he stomps the yard by himself if he has to, as you can see from his videos.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, yeah. So shout out to him. He has taught me a lot. Sister Brooke, Brother Divine have taught me a lot. And one thing I do know is that we are trying to gear up for next election to try to get some of those. And I'm not talking about Brother Divine, Sister Brooke. I mean people that I sit around on TikTok. No matter the state we're trying or the city, we're trying to get in these seats now because we're going to have to be the ones that if they don't pay us reparations state by state, we're going to have to pay ourselves. How do we pay ourselves? We got to get in there and be in charge of, okay, look, this is the bill we want sponsored. This is constitutionally sound.
Yes, ma'am.
This is how it should go. But New York is a different beast. And obviously, our representatives, besides one, is going along with the get along. And the get along is to back Yvette Clarke, obviously.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. So I saw this video. I saw this interview with Charles Barron. And if real quick, FBA combo, if you wouldn't mind, one of you guys go grab our sister BX's YouTube channel, put it in the chat. We're gonna support this sister. She does FBA safe space for us constantly. She's always working. We gotta support her, get her out there. Our sisters that go hard for us, that support us, and that are actually the backbone. A lot of times we can't see things. They can get in places we can't. We got to show them support and show them love. So while we're doing this clip, while we're going through this interview and we're breaking it down, I need somebody to put her YouTube in the chat. It's kind of hard to find because a lot of people have BX in the name, but I'm pretty sure one of you can get it for us. So we're going to bring it back to the stage and we're going to pull this back up. And fair use, Brick TV, fair use.
I can't hear the video.
You can hear it?
No.
Why I can't? Lord, I feel like Afro right now. What's going on with the internet? What's going on? But can y'all hear the video in the chat? You need a wrench with FBA convo. Hold on, brother. This is what we're gonna do. I know enough about the internet to make something shake. So we're gonna go to the channel real quick. Settings. Mission. No. Customization. Tab. I wonder if I can do it straight from the live stream itself. See if it'll let me do it. And I look like an old man. Go channel. Yep. Boom. FBA combo, you in here? Nika.
Would you like me to comment in the chat? And then I think they should be able to click
Yes, ma'am.
on
If you
my
would comment,
profile. Let me see.
if you would comment that would be awesome. I'm over looking like an old man. Oh yeah, BX, she's the one, man. She is the one. Mr. Nika, we'll mod you up for now.
Can you see my comment?
I do not see your comment yet.
Ah, it should be showing up, hopefully.
Let me pull myself out the screen over looking at me, looking at me, looking at me. Dang, it won't let you hear it. Okay. I'm pretty sure the chat, y'all said y'all couldn't hear this video. Y'all saying y'all couldn't hear this video, so that's okay. So I got to figure that out. However, in this video, in this interview, he was talking about all the things he did and all the work he's put in and yada yada. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then the brother with the hair, that brother got the Boondocks hair going on. What's going on, Brandon? Welcome this morning. He had the Boondocks hair going on. I was like, Lord of mercy. You see what FBA Combo said? It said, comment on chat and I'll get the link.
Yes. So the comment that I just put didn't go down? No?
I don't see it. And I don't have any special provisions preventing you from commenting. And while they're getting that, we're going to pull up this and read through this real quick. Because as of May, this article's not been updated. No, that's wrong. As of what day was this? What's the article? This is the City and State, New York.
I had to connect my YouTube account, my YouTube email address to the StreamYard, and now they allowed my comments to go through. So FBA Convo should be able to see it now.
FBA from Boston, what's going on? I got the what's going on? Welcome this morning. Welcome this morning in Boston, of all places. Lord of mercy, boy. I know you're going through it. All right, so these two, this is January 3rd, 2024, have said to make their exit from politics. A conversation with Black radical political movement's power couple as they look back on 22 years in elected office. So here's my problem with that. Because our brother Melrose Place, I think he has a video up on his channel. I know you won't be able to hear it, but I just want everybody to see one thing that I saw, and that was their dress. And I'm following our brother. I think it's Melrose Radio. Yeah, shorts. Here it is. So if you notice what this is, him and his wife. Look at the flag.
Yeah.
Pan-Africanism.
Yeah. So that's why nobody's really. So New York does have a large Pan African community. I can't say this though. Some of our Pan Africans here have done work, right? Meaning there's one who opened, I think, two schools in New York, and now I've been told they have one in North Carolina. They do accept like not just Black Americans, but like Afro Caribbean, so on and so forth. But if you look at the New York public school system or any public school system, the things that they're trying to teach, I'd rather have my child in a school that centers on blackness and not people being in dresses, right?
Yes.
Things like that. So also, for Malcolm X's birthday, there is a section of Harlem where they have an arrangement with the stores and stuff like that to shut down for a certain amount of time on Malcolm X's birthday. I believe it
Nice.
was Chipotle. They did not do it. And you should have seen all the Pan Africans come out. I mean, the elders. Some couldn't even hardly walk, but they were stomping the yard. I have met a few who say that although they believe in Pan Africanism and global blackness, that the Caribbean actually has to go with CARICOM and talk to the Brits and not ride our claim. So this is my whole position with many Pan Africans. You don't have to throw the lineage under the bus to be Pan African and say, listen, you got to go after the government that enslaved your ancestors, not ride our claim. That's my biggest pet peeve with them. I think they've had too much say, especially in places like New York, to make people like the Ghanaian president feel it was okay to come here to New York and go to our ancestors' burial ground, to even have their name changed in 2010 to African burial ground from Negro. So a lot of things have been going unchecked, but as soon as they come to our attention, then we address it. And we're learning new organizing strategies and stuff like that to sort of get it done. Because should I bring up Malcolm X, all divine honors to the great Malcolm X? He says the ballot or the bullet, and that meant he wanted us to be more politically strategic, and that's how we have to be. We have to vote policy over popularity or party loyalty. And so sometimes sitting out on the couch won't work, but I'm trying to implore everybody. It's 400 representatives up for reelection this midterm season. A lot of them are very problematic to the foundational Black American community. We're not going to get changes overnight, but we have to shake the Dems up. How is Jasmine Crockett going to feel that she's not going to have a congressional seat next term? And I think there was somebody else whose name I'm forgetting. For us right now, it's Yvette Clarke, who's very problematic as far as delineation and disaggregation, right? And I say that because in 2009, she authored the Caribbean Count Bill. The Caribbean Count Bill was designed to give the Caribbean a certain check mark on the census so that they could be accurately counted and their population could be funded, right? Now, in 2024, that bill has passed. And today, I can look at our freedom fighters. I can look at the U.S. Freedmen's Project, and they are stomping the yard hard for a disaggregation bill or a delineation bill, right? And that would give foundational Black Americans their own box so that we could get some funding too. But Yvette Clarke is totally silent when it comes to us. They did find one lady named Nikki Lucas. I'm not officially a part of the U.S. Freedmen's Project, but I support them because of the work that they do in New York. And so these are the things that they have conveyed to us, in case you're not following them. They have conveyed to us that they did find one representative, and I believe she now has a co-sponsor. But out of over 50, I want to say Afro-diasporan representatives and nonprofit organizations, no one really answered the call until they found that one foundational Black American representative to push a more constitutionally sound bill and help us delineate and disaggregate in New York, which we desperately need, right? Because
Yes.
again, Yvette Clarke has authored a Caribbean Count Bill. So now they get funding not only for the Caribbean who are here in New York, but some of those nations are able to get funding. And she also has secure funding for the island of Haiti,
Mm.
right? To stimulate their economic growth. So even on your own, I don't want y'all to take my word for it, right? I want y'all to go to Google, and Vic could do it here if he wants. And the search term can be um, name all of the caucuses that Yvette Clarke is a founder of, a co-chair, or is a member. She has the record number of memberships on these caucuses. And they're all in direct conflict for what foundational Black Americans need. Why does the Caribbean need to migrate here and still get money there? Why does Haiti get to migrate here, get a TPS when we're still looking for an anti-hate crime bill and still get funding to their nations? But when we get a pot of anything, any set asides, guess who's coming over there? To our set asides.
Right here,
So,
got
go ahead. You
Yvette
pulled
D.
it up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Congressional Black Caucus, Congressional Caribbean Caucus, Congressional Caucus on Black Women and Girls Caucus, Congressional Creators Caucus. I don't even know what that is. Congressional House Haiti Caucus, like you were just saying. Congressional Multicultural Media Caucus, Congressional Smart Cities Caucus. What the heck? Congressional
Can you
Progressive
stop there
Caucus.
for a minute? Because
Yes,
the
ma'am.
media caucus is very important. There's a lot of creators who do think pieces, and I keep telling them, and they use Wikipedia sources, and they talk about how New York FBA is not there, and that's why New York is like that, and it's the tethers, this and that. We actually outnumber the melanated immigrants here. Not, I can't really gauge the Latinos and stuff. I don't think we could gauge that right now. But as far as the Afro-Caribbeans and Africans, we actually outnumber them. We don't have the power in media. That's what I keep telling people. And these podcasters who are for likes and views, and even if they are of the lineage, besides Doggy Diamonds and maybe Joe Button, Mace and Lord Jamar, may kind of understand how to express what FBA's movement is, because FBA is the lineage, delineation is the movement, but they can't bring it home the way foundational Black American grassroots can, right? And so I keep telling people who are saying FBA is not in New York, stop saying that. It's detrimental to those doing the work. Call us to the table. And I also say that the tethers here do not outnumber us, but it seems that way because they have power of media. And when you said, what was that caucus of multicultural media?
Let me pull it back up. Let me pull it back up.
Yeah.
You said caucus of Multicultural Media Caucus. Congressional Multi.
Yvette Clarke actually created that. So if Yvette Clarke created that, like she authored the Caribbean Count Bill, but won't answer the U.S. freedmen when they ask her for support for our specific bills, where do you think the opportunity that caucus is securing? Where do you think they're going to? Are they really going to foundational Black American? So
No,
you see
no.
how these people get in office and start running amok. They're running amok in the government, and she's allowed to do this. And I just want to know why.
So now I want to know, how do you create a caucus? Because if you can just pull one out the hat, then there's got to be some type of procedures or paperwork that can be filed for this to be real. There's something that has to be legitimate. And I'm glad you said what you said about IBA brothers and sisters still outnumbering the immigrants, because this one sister, and we're not attacking the sister. She said the man commenting is flat out wrong. FBA do not outnumber the immigrants. And when I saw that, I want to say something. I was like, no, let my sister who's in New York, because I've never been to New York. I need to go. I need to come and visit, to be with family and see what it is and what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? And engage in the culture. But yeah, it does seem that way. And then now we see why. CB1 family is, everything is engineered. All right, they architect our downfall, and they slowly but surely they buddy up with the barons, buddy, and now you notice she's at a higher level than they are, and that's what we end up doing. That's what we've done for the longest time. We get cool people, and then we boasted them, and we alley-oop them to a higher position, and they turn around, they show us they stanky ass, and push us out of the way one way or another. We can't get you out the way. We can't push you out of the city. Okay, well, we're gonna make it seem like you don't exist. I've learned here in Memphis, they push the black folk to the outer skirts of Memphis. It's like a circle. All the wealth is centered inside, and then the black folk on the outside struggling. And what I've been seeing with what's going on with the MSC at schools, which may lead to bigger issues with the local government altogether, is there's been a lot of mismanagement of the funds. A lot of mismanagement. Of course, the Republicans, they're not without their problems or without their responsibility or accountability, because one of the guys they presented was he had been in office for 45 years. So that means you've seen it happening and you said nothing. And now that it's really bad, now they're trying to circle around and say, look how bad they did. They don't know what they're doing. And of course, all the Democrats that are in control have melanin. So it's engineered, B1 family. It's always been engineered. We're not out here not, dropping the ball. We know what we're doing. However, we for the longest time allow people who look like us or look close enough like us to become adjacent to what we have going on, and that's poisoned the progress of us. And you notice that once we got them out the way, once we got the tethers moved out the way, and we said, look, we're not operating on the flat blackness. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be a black face in a high place. We're going to get it done. We're going to get the policies. We've removed the emotion. We have gotten so far, and we've gotten so much done, and we've been successful. We still got hurdles to go. We still got walls knocked down, but we getting there. And this is why I thought, even myself, it was like, oh, ain't there many FBA in New York? It's a whole bunch, Caribbeans, Jamaicans. And from what I've seen lately, like you showed me, Africans out there selling illegal goods, counterfeit goods on the street, unabated, unmolested. So, that's the thought process. But shout out to you for bringing clarity. It's like, yo, we still here. We still outnumber them. We've been, sequestered off to certain areas, but we still here. And so I love that.
Yeah. So
I know you about to you got to go here soon enough.
Yeah, would like for you to do one more search term for us so that the family in the chat could see it. Ask them to ask Google AI to compare the wins that the legislation that Yvette Clarke has secured for Haiti in the Caribbean versus the legislation she has successfully secured for just foundational Black Americans. Because I want to show you how what she does for us is symbolic, but what she gets for them is tangible. And I did read a comment. How is she an American freedman woman when she has a Caribbean accent? I don't know if that was directed towards me, but I could find my ancestors on the 1870 USA Census. That's how I'm Black American. So not everybody in New York is a tether. Okay, we still have a foundational population here. So yeah.
I saw this. I've heard her voice on other American Black issues. She ain't American Black freedman, brother. You are absolutely out your mind.
No, that's the sabotage to diminish my point.
That's and you ain't got no face. You ain't got no face. You ain't got no face. Don't make those type of comments. I can't stand that, because then you hiding who you are. I got way too many videos with my face on all kind of platforms, so it's me. I got people that be looking at me crazy. I was out with the wife yesterday. She was like, "That lady must know you from YouTube or somewhere." I said, "She might." You know what I'm saying? Don't make those type of statements and you can't stand on business and put your face out there. You guys seeing what I got good up here? Gotta just make sure. Legislation Yvette Clarke has secured for Haitians versus Black American. All right. So Congressman Yvette Clarke is heavily focused on immigration reform for Haitians. Of course she would. Specifically advocating for temporary protected status, TPS extensions, and the HELP Act. For Black Americans, her efforts have centered in civil rights, justice reform, and economic equality, such as co-sponsoring legislation for the commission to study and develop reparation proposals. So she ain't did nothing for us. Because you see right here, this is TPS extensions. That means it's already a service that's going on. And the HELP Act. That means it's already been signed and ratified and everything else needs to go. Legislation advocacy for Haitians. HELP, Haitian Emergency Life Protection Act. That's going. TPS advocacy. Aspire TPS Act aim to allow TPS holders, including Haitians, to apply for lawful permanent resident status. Haitian Women and Girls Resolution focused on addressing gender-based violence in Haiti. For somebody who's over here in America, you're doing a lot for a place that ain't America. Focus areas for Black Americans. Reparation study. That's nothing. Civil rights. We've already had that. Justice reform. Advocating for police reforms, policing reforms, and addressing disparities within how. This ain't saying nothing. This ain't doing nothing. There's a whole bunch of nothing. I see an act. I see an act. I see acts. I see action.
Some of those have, but she has a one with funding attached to it. I forget the rightful name, but it's to stimulate the economic growth in Haiti.
Oh, let's do this. Let's add funding. So, yep, has consistently championed legislation efforts for Haitian aid. Okay. Help Haiti Act of 2010. Haiti Emergency Relief Act of 2017. Condemning aid freezes. Fought the 2025 freeze on over $13 million in U.S. aid to Haiti. But they don't have reparations for us. We can circle back to Minnesota. The billions mishandled and fraudulently used by the Somalis, but they don't have reparations for us. Okay. We see where the money's going. Well, we don't got the money. We ain't got the money. Yes, you do. And then Hope for Haitian Prosperity Act of 2025, introducing the 119th Congress. I don't know if that's been pushed through, but she's probably working on it. Knowing her. CLB1 family, look, these folk have been working double time, triple time, quadruple time to allocate funds that have been earmarked for us to themselves. They get in these positions. Unfortunately, we help put them there. So we have to take that responsibility and accountability that when we've been cool with the flat blackness and we all Black, we're going to do right. We got to give them time. Remember all the sayings we do, give them another term. Once they get another term, then we're going to be all right. And we've done enough of that hoping, wishing, and wanting and waiting. And we've got nothing but empty stomachs and empty plates, dilapidated housings, folk getting pushed out of their communities, white folk coming in, buying up all the property, turning to a mega suburb, tethers coming in, buying up the property. Like, you'd be surprised how many Latinos here in Memphis I see driving these construction trucks and all that stuff like that. You as many Black folk as I see in Memphis. It is just now, because of what's been going on with ICE and all this stuff, you're starting to see more Black folk out there doing the construction work. So yeah, we have had too many years of accepting disrespect, accepting the microaggressions and the macroaggressions, and we on their ass right now. And I don't give a damn. We on their ass going forward. We don't give a damn about you being, quote, Black. We don't care about let's all get along for the sake of the better good. We are worried about our house. We're worried about our neighborhood. We're about our community. We're worried about foundational Black Americans first. We have to continue to practice righteous selfishness, which means we make sure that our mental capital, financial capital, social capital, physical capital is intact. And then we'll think about helping somebody else as long as there's reciprocity. That's all I got to say. Because I know our sister, she has to be off for about almost 12 o'clock your time?
Yeah. Well, 11. It's going on 11 my time.
It's going 11 your time. Okay. I didn't want to hold you too long. I wanted somebody who was boots on the ground, live, you are a New Yorker.
Yes.
Like it is. Because a lot of times we get information from outside sources or misinformation from inside sources. And that leaves a lot of people wondering and want to know. So shout out to our sister BX.
Thank you.
Share her YouTube link.
Mm-hmm.
It should be in the chat. If somebody share it again one more time. And I don't have any outro music, B1 family. I just got this back up and going. So next time we go live, I'm gonna have outro music, intro music, and all that stuff. But I appreciate everybody who tapped in. BX, thank you so much for tapping in with me, giving us the game, She does have a YouTube channel. There it goes again. Shout out to FBA Combo.
Thank you.
On the screen, go support this sister. All right. Whether you're on TikTok or whether you're on Facebook, she has a FBA safe space that she does. She gives out game. She lets you know what it is and what it ain't. And to let y'all know how solid she is, every time I share with you guys some type of petition to sign or paperwork that we need to have processed, this sister is the one who's got it to me.
Oh, I have a new one. Because we went to protest Ghana, coming to touch the ancestors and lay their wreath. So this here, um, I feel that they should not be. It said failed to post. Let me see. Maybe I can't post the link. Let's see. Yeah, it's
See,
not posted. I can send it to you, and then you could. Let me see if I can put it here
yeah, put it in the private
in the
chat.
studio. Yeah, yeah,
Man.
we're in a private chat. So when we went to protest Ghana's appearance at the burial ground, one thing that stood out was that, it could have been some type of ritualistic thing where they give the ancestors a floral sacrifice and ask for favor. And then the following day, they went to formally ask for the slavery resolution. So we just wanted them to know hands off our ancestors. But with the United States of America denying or rejecting their bid for a resolution, and said, although you may have had some historically distant relationship to the victims, meaning our ancestors and now us, their descendants, the ancestors' descendants, you still aren't basically owed anything. Like this just isn't clear. So the fact that they named us victims and they said no to Ghana, I think that it's time to set some boundaries, meaning they can't mention our they need to take their hearings off of American soil. They need to stop mentioning our collective wealth. They need to stop comparing their history to ours. And this goes for all immigrants. They're not having a Black experience. What they're having is an immigrant experience in America. We are not the same. So there's just some things to protect us because we're demanding our ethnic autonomy. And we have to do that by exercising our right to vote, participating in the calls to action, read everything. And if you don't agree with something or need clarity on something, ask questions. Vic knows how to get in touch with me. If you don't, I see FBA in the convo in the chat. He knows how to get in touch with me on TikTok too. So please participate because we need to start a paper trail into showing that we're unhappy with not only the representation that we have in office, but these organizations and the Pan-Africans who have been allowing a lot of things to go on. It's time to hear our voices, the real descendants. Yeah.
And when you click on it, I've already started the process because I'm going to send this off now. The letter's already written. It's already written. They've already done the legwork. All you got to do is go in here, put your name and all that information. Boom, boom, boom. Well, you're sending Hackett. Yeah, we ain't gonna put nothing else, do we? Do we?
No, that's all you have to put. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we need to put so basically we can just copy this letter topic right here and put it in each space in our information and then send it off. And I'm finna get that done off camera. I don't need y'all to have my number. And I'm gonna get that done.
Thank you, Vic.
Screenshot the proof. You most definitely will put that on there. And like I said, this is one of the sisters who really be stomping hard. That's why I said we gotta support her because she does a lot of work. She supports Afro Elites Live. She be in lives with so many people. There be folk I didn't even know who be on it, and she be in the live. She shared with me. I'm like, who's this? But this goes to show that we're not a group like they say. We are a lineage of people who have their own methodologies and thought processes on how we should better take care of our community. And it all revolves around pushing out problematic individuals like the Tethers, like our stepping fetches, the coons, the bedwenches, and etc. We pushing y'all out. So if you're on that type of time,
one more thing, Vic. One more thing. I put the one to ask to demand ma'am damn me apologize on the national stage, the same stage that he disrespected not only us, the ancestors, when he said immigrants built New York City. So that call to action is in the private chat too, if you could post that. And that's all I have for today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let
It's
me get
labeled
that.
Stop the Erasure of Black Americans.
Let me add this as well. Be with family. And real quick, our brother, and I've noticed this too. FBA convo. I don't know. I know Wolfie better than I know Halo. I've never spoken to Halo, and it's nothing against her. I just never spoken with her. I've, you know, I know of Wolfie because we've both been in spaces together. Back before she had a couple pages, because they be coming after our sisters. I don't know why this is going on, or how this started, or who's in the mix. Is there somebody in the mix getting this going so they can try to derail and cause a fracture of what we got going on? So I don't know if any of our sisters who know Halo and Wolfie better than me, but to get in there and sit down and listen from the outside, looking in and find out if there's somebody in the mix making it something that they ain't supposed to be, where they sit there beefing and putting it online. All right, we gotta nip that in the bud as quickly as possible. We're not letting that happen. We're come too far to have this mess go on. So with that being said, B1 family, I love all you all. Shout out to everyone. Like I said, our brother Poncho Stevens, he's working on making this crispy, making it nice. I told him he can have 30 days because he had he's got something going on in the family that's beautiful, and I'm not going to share it because that's his information. And thank God it's over. You are putting time out. But yeah, that's it. And until next time, it's FBA all day. B1.
Be one.